Hello, everyone. It's been a little while. I've been busy. Busy. Knitting, crocheting, things for my grandkids, and trying to get some things for Christmas stuff done. You know how it goes. But I digress. People were talking about the other night. I was looking on TikTok about spelling, and I went on this channel about spelling. Stop it, Summer Umbry. Sorry. Um, I cannot talk. I cannot articulate my thoughts. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos, you can tell how distracted I get from moment to moment. That's my dog with the squeaky toy. She does that exactly when I start doing this video. Weird enough to say. But I'm not a good speaker. I've never been a good speaker. I never will be a good speaker. My mind runs 1,000 times faster than my mouth, and then there's a disconnect, and then I lose processing thoughts. It's like if the bits of a computer system, and they get, it's a 16-bit computer system, and we're running on 4 bits. It just don't work. Anywho, the other day I was watching, I think it was Mark Atwood, or see, now this is my ADD thing. Has anybody know Joanna Dunn or Stephanie Schaap? I haven't seen either one of those people in years. They were the ones when I first started coming out with this ascension stuff, or whatever you want to call it, the change in the world. They were the few girls that I watched. Joanna was about dragons, and then Stephanie, she did a lot of tarot reading, and then she was with Janine with tarot, and then she did Esoteric Atlanta tarot, and then she disappeared. And I haven't seen her online in almost a year. I was just wondering, because I went on Candly to book an appointment, but she's not on there anymore, and I have no idea where I have no idea. But anyway, it wasn't Mark Atwood, it was TikTok. It was this girl talking about what controls this world. And I've always said there's 10 people that probably have the code to this actual world of what actually is transpiring, what is going on, what is happening, because I will be the last person to tell you that I know. Even though I understand things that most people don't understand, or whatever you want to say, because of my ADD, autistic brain, whatever you want to say, neurodivergent. Now there's a word, because she was talking about things. Stop! Get in the kennel if you're going to be bad. Go in the kennel and lay down till I'm done. Go. March it. So she was talking about words, and I had put on a word, freedom, because everybody says, raises their hand, and I want to be free, dumb, but it's dumb, D-U-M-B. And that came to me a long time ago. And I just watched that video the other day. So then I'm thinking about other words, and I'm thinking neuro different. And then I'm thinking about, okay, if spelling is, or words, articulation is how they cast these situations of changing, what you're saying and you're repeating, which makes sense, which makes perfect sense, because if you have binary code 1000, 1 and a 0 don't mean different things. 1 always means 1 and 0 always means 0. It's just the sequence of how the numbers are placed. So free, dumb, D-U-M-B, doesn't mean a difference when you say it, because the universe doesn't know how to spell it. It just hears what it's hearing, so it's code. That's it. So when you're placing yourself in this autistic, neurodivergent box, or we can't articulate, some of these people can't articulate, are we the ones, am I the person that can't do spells, like spelling, because I cannot say these things well, or in such a manner that it is effective? Because I don't have friends. I don't have people around me 24 hours a day, and when I do go into a crowd of people, I'm cringe, and I think a lot of people are getting that way now, that's the way it's always been for me. I've always wanted somebody to be my friend, but I think that it's I come off really, really sporadic and crazy, weird, just weird. So what I'm thinking is, and I hope you're understanding what I'm saying, is that they're wanting you to say that you're in this box and putting people in this box and get this diagnosis of this and going to the doctor, and everybody has to go, and everybody's so proud to be autistic or neurodivergent now. Oh, I'm ADD and I'm this and I'm that, and when I was a kid I was just bullied. I was just flat out bullied. And I have a nephew that is different. And I would never say, like, he's different. He's just different because I've been different. So I never really put it in a box. I've never said that I'm autistic or neurodivergent. I've never said that. Now, other people have said, your mom's a little, like, different. And my son's like, yeah, she's really, really smart, but really, really stupid all at the same time. And, I think that's a hidden compliment somewhere in there. Maybe that's a spell, whatever. But what I mean is that is the society trying to find the people that don't have the ability to be trapped into a box so they can do something else in the future to those people? Because it's really strange. A lot of these kids that are coming through school now, the ones that are different and getting all these problems, are like shunned and put into a different school, and yet I don't know, yet they're labeled these things, and then they're like shunned and put into and called out and things like that. And they're the light bringers. They're the people like the Gen Xers that I meet now or see on YouTube. Most of the Gen Xers that I know or that I watch have had the same issues that I've had. And these are the people that are questioning everything. Because, I question the church. I question school. Like, I question everything. I have a brain that, like, I remember everything. And it's a hindrance sometimes. Because you don't want to remember everything. It's not very much fun. But I know a lot of people with autism and ADD don't remember everything. And they have issues learning. Math, I'm dyslexic on math, but I know math. Planck's law, speed of light, gravity, things like that. Well, gravity doesn't even really exist. And how can you figure out gravity if you don't have mass? And if you don't have mass, then you can't find gravity. I tried to tell my son that the other day. He's like, all they did was time it from a point in space to the ground after over and over and over again. Still, you don't have mass. But once you get time and gravity, you can figure out mass. Well, yeah, but you don't, I don't know. It just don't make sense to me how you can get pounds without ever having the pull of gravity, the force of gravity. It don't make any sense. It's like, how do you know that there's a molten lava in the ground, when you can't even get molten lava in the earth, when you can't even get to the Mariana Trench with pressure, the gas. Well, they know, but they think we're stupid, that we don't guess. But I digress. I just thought this was a strange, because they're pushing all this psychological, get help for this. Is it a way to control these people that are light bringers or light workers or can hear the universe or question everything? Is this a way to corral people like that into, because you're not gonna catch them. I mean, you're not gonna corner them because they're antisocial people. And you're not going to find them everywhere because they're antisocial people. So they have to come to you. And this is the only way that I could think of. Because, I was a nurse for many years. And I got in so much trouble all the time. You're aggressive. You're this. You have a terrible bedside manner. I know. And the thing of it is, I knew exactly what I was doing. I was never mean to anybody. Never. Never ever. And if I were, my child would come to a nurse, I want them to be me because I knew exactly what I was talking about. They just wanted somebody to coddle them, and I'm not a coddler. I'm just not that kind of person. Um, but anyway, I just thought it was an interesting concept when I the more I see they funnel these people into a category, it's like it's the same with anything else. The RH negative, they're trying to funnel them into like, you're special if you're RH negative, but why? Like, why would you want anybody to know you're RH negative if this is what they do to you? Like, why would you want anybody to know that? Why are you getting on YouTube and telling people? Or why are you gonna be allowed, like, that's the thing. It just doesn't make sense. It's something that I just question of what the long-term effect of this whole being proud of yourself for being, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being different. I mean, even though I could wear a label of, neuro divergent, nobody's going to accept me no more than what they did before. They're going to either like you or they don't. It's not going to make a difference. And I have taken drugs, Strattera and other drugs, and those don't work. They just make you numb and weird and disconnected from my life that I'm used to. So, I don't know. It's just a thing that I wondered about. I don't know if anybody's ever wondered about it or thought about it. It just made sort of sense to me, putting people into that category. I remember in the 80s, in the 90s, well, it was in the early 80s when they did that to gay people. Like, gay people were coming out, which is fine, whatever. You have your sex life, I have mine, whatever. I don't care. But they started segregating them when they came out and putting them in like separate hospital rooms because AIDS was coming out, and it was terrible. It was awful. It was horrific. And I don't know what they were doing there. They were just trying to herd them into a category, and I have no idea. I really don't. And that's what I'm wondering what's going on here, because this has been just happening for the last couple of years. This atypical, like behavior. And it's getting more and more pronounced because people are like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I mean, out of my whole family, there's probably 30 of us. I could probably say there's 2 of us that are, me and my nephew. So 30 people, and there's only 2 that I could say that. I mean, I could say there's a couple of them that might have a little bit of attention deficit disorder. But to say they're full-blown neurodivergent, I mean, they could learn little cues. No. Mm-mm. No. So I don't think it's prevalent as people want to make it be. And then you have this whole, like, I don't know. I think it's a way of finding out who's who in the world of astral. The astral world. They're coming to them. They're learning about you without. You're not trying to be, a little. Hold back a little bit, Everybody, you're making easy pickings for them. Whoever they are, the 10 people of this realm that probably controls the buttons or whatever, because I think it goes way up to the. And I think that, what I heard the other day in my head, that Bigfoots are the maintenance men of this plane. They're the ones that run, like, if there's a portal or there's something, they're the ones that fix it. That's why you don't see them you see them in and out. I don't know. I just thought that was really weird. I've never told anybody that until just now. All right, bye.